Welcome back to Chaos Corner. I am Tanari. For those of you that don't know, I stream video games on Twitch, twitch.tv/Tanari. I do vlogs on YouTube with one of these things, yeah. And we'll be able to start doing sewing videos again soon because my knee's doing a lot better. But I know the vlog's late. This time the vlog is late. We had one of those weeks where, as I sat down to record and edit again, things started getting moving. So that week we just didn't do a vlog. And I know I sound like crap, kind of look like crap right now too, because I have another sinus infection. With the high stress the last couple of months, we knew I was going to get sick again. And then, like high stress, that's what's up with these ugly spots on my face, because the stress, and I'm really bad at not leaving my face alone. And the weather snapped on us last week. We went from like 75, 77 degrees to 32 overnight. I'm not joking. Like that's not normal around here. But it happens sometimes. When it happens, it's also not normal for it to stay that way for a week. That's what's been going on. And it's not going to get any warmer. It is actually 45 degrees outside right now at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The low tonight is 32. So yeah, this is not normal, but that snap going from that heat to the cold like that, plus all the stress, I've got a sinus infection again. Kicked it right into gear. And the sinus infections always take forever to go away. But, so we've been working on Christmas, had some stuff line up. Kid 2 finally got through the fucking system. And they not only got him through the system, they expedited the payments for December, so Christmas was a non-problem. So we actually have the funds to spend time with family, doing fun things while they're in town, things like that, without worrying about it. Took the kids on their shopping trip. I don't think I covered this no, because it hadn't happened yet. So we had a really bad fight one day, and I'm not going to go into details there, but the trigger line there was somebody stole my wallet. Now, before people start panicking, my ID wasn't in there. I lost my ID somewhere in the house 3 weeks ago. That wasn't a problem. The only things that were in there that weren't useless to me were my debit card, my PayPal debit card, because that's basically my business account. I get paid at PayPal. He don't get paid through PayPal. He has a real job and a real paycheck, and I'm pointing at my window and my husband's office is that way. Wow, I'm doing great today. But we know someone stole it because I could shut the PayPal card off in the app instantly. Wouldn't have done them any good anyway. That was empty. But within an hour of the wallet going missing, like, I'm not kidding, less than an hour after I paid for the groceries with that wallet, someone had managed to empty my account on OnlyFans. Not that I have an account on OnlyFans. They managed to empty my bank account buying stuff on OnlyFans. So someone legit stole my wallet, managed to empty my bank account with my debit card. Not a big deal. There was only like $60 in that account at the time. Like I said, we need these payments. But we had pulled out the cash to take the kids Christmas shopping. We go to like Five Below, and they pick out presents for each other at Five Below. That was gone. That's what triggered that fight. Well, no. The fight was before that. I'm sorry. The fight was before that. We had, again, money's been tight, and tight money means strained relationships, okay? My marriage is fine, but every once in a while, just because we are still getting over the high stress. Both of us, we just deal with it in different ways, and the side effects of long-term high stress is different for each of us. And we're not always great at remembering we're both under that stress. Because when it gets that bad, we're having a hard time remembering how many people are in the house. That's how bad it got sometimes. But, while it was stolen, Dee managed to pull some magic out of the stock market and make that trip happen anyway. So we still took the kids out shopping, still came home, and like, we go to Five Below anyway, right? Like, that's not because we're broke. That's because only one of my children is old enough and cognizant, financially aware enough to understand he's got this much money to work with, and that's it. The others don't get it. So we go to Five Below because they can get whatever the hell they want to buy without me worrying about the amount of money it's going to cost. Like, that trip this year, it was $98 total for all 4 of them. That's why we go to Five Below. Because they're buying 5 gifts apiece. So they love it. That's a holiday tradition. Dee managed to work some magic with his stock trading, make that money happen, and make that trip happen anyway. Then, my father-in-law helped a bit because he found out that we couldn't get the car insured because my card was gone. And there was no money to put in Dee's account to do that. Like, the car still needs registered and stuff, but it is insured now and inspected. But we didn't know you had to get the insurance before the inspection rather than the other way around. And one of these we had enough money for, and one we didn't. So my father-in-law helped to help make sure that the car got taken care of and things got a little bit easier. And then, while we are in the process of sending a nastygram to the that other office, yeah. Anyway, I've been calling this office for a week because I missed the call to get the kid through the system. I was helping deal with emergencies in the house at the time. Missed the phone call by half an hour. I have been calling them back multiple times a day for a week. When I get a notice in the mail saying, if we don't hear back from you by January, then we'll deny the case. I was so pissed. So pissed. And I had to stop and figure out why this pissed me off so bad. The kid with an extra disability was about to be denied a month and a half before his birthday, because some can't answer his goddamn phone. And there is no option. This particular office, we have got to move. I hate the offices in this area. I now know why my mother was ready to kill people when I was a child, because we lived here when I was a kid too. But the office in this area, there is no way to talk to a person at all whatsoever. You leave a message, someone calls you back. That's it. There are only 3 options in their automated phone system. None of them get you a person unless you happen to have the extension to call to leave a message for someone. So we're in the process of sending a nastygram via snail mail because my patience is done, and if we don't get this taken care of, the senator's office is going to get involved. When I get the call, I'm not kidding, I was putting my shoes on to go to the post office and run errands when I got the call. And the guy, no fault major on the guy, okay, the guy who called me, the guy who was assigned to us was doing his job. I get that they're backed up and na. He got a hold of me, got his information, was more than helpful and accommodating, and without being asked. I was supposed to ask if we could get this expedited a little bit so that we could pay for Christmas. Without being asked, he goes, so we're going to go ahead and push that through now, rather than making you wait for January. Oh my God. And then the funds came in. They may not have come in until Christmas Eve was the latest he said they would come in. 2 days. Funds got in 2 days. So I have all the ingredients in my house to make cookies and icing that my sister-in-law and her kids and like we have several people in the family who have a particular allergy, and it's a very integral ingredient in icing. and no, it's not sugar, but icing and cake and cookies, and it's a necessary thing, and they're allergic. So I went and bought a plant-based alternative and got everything I need to make a whole bunch of sugar cookies and frosting and stuff that they can have without having to worry about it. So I get to do a lot of baking now. Christmas presents are all in. Like, I'm not kidding. The only gifts that we are waiting to have show up right now, unless sometimes family ships the stuff to me to wrap, which is probably what's going to happen for a few things. But the only thing we are waiting to have come in right now... Wow, I just drew a solid blank. Oh, right, fish. Sorry. The only gifts we still need to acquire right now is DeRitten is going to go get another feeder fish. Not a feeder fish. A fish... Okay, so he's got a hydroponics thing. The fish go poo, the poo go up to the plant. It fertilize plant. Water come back down, so plant no drown. We need a fish in there. Because he had a beta in there, and turns out the beta was doing very, very poorly in that environment because of the stream thing. He was actually getting beat around inside the tank. So he's in a massive mason jar now. And I mean massive. Gargantua. And he's quite happy in there. He seems to be a happier fish in part because it's so deep. The cat can't get his paw down that far. And it's harder for the kid to get his paw down that far. But he needs to go pick up some fish, and he's going to get a couple of little ornaments or something to wrap and put under the tree for the fish.
Mommy,
I am recording.
it's not dying.
I am recording. I'll be out in a bit. That one's out of my patience. It has been for quite some time. But he's going to get another fish to put in the hydroponic thing, a goldfish or something that can handle that kind of thing. And he's going to pick up some ornaments to wrap and put under the tree for the... This is something we do for the kids. Okay, it's something we did when I was a kid, where we'd get some cat treats or dog treats or a toy and wrap it up and put it under the tree for the pet. Well, one of the children doesn't have a cat or a dog. He has a fish. So we do legit need to get something for the fish this year. But this is mostly for the kids. Like, I picked up some... They're right here. We haven't wrapped them yet. Clearance dog treats. Dental treats for our dogs, for the kids to wrap up. Like, it's for the kids. To keep everyone included, I guess. But, yeah, we've got all that shopping done. I've got all the ingredients. We are down to just having Christmas. That doesn't compute right. That doesn't sit right. I'm trying to remember what else has changed. I'm not sure a lot. Oh, yeah, we survived the big everybody goes to the hospital visits. No major changes, which is actually a good thing. They are changing some medications based on... It's not really a change of medication. It's, So they are all on a medication to help protect their heart. Okay? All of them are. Well, the younger ones were on a different medication than the oldest because they don't like prescribing the stuff the oldest is on while they're still young enough for it to be difficult to see if there's a problem with the medication. They prefer to use the one that's intended for much younger children so that they can catch issues and side effects on other problems that might be there without being on the stronger medicine. Also, in part because the earlier they start this, the less they need it. So, they switched them off of the baby med, basically, which is what it was, a baby med. The youngers are being switched off the baby med onto a big kid med, grown-up med. It's actually the same medication my husband is also on, which, there's a reason his medicine and the children's medicine live in two different places. Because sometimes I'm filling these pill keepers without my glasses. But that was really the only big change. That and, we had to schedule another appointment because physical therapy did not need to see the kids. No, not physical, OT. OT and pulmonology did not need to see them today, or this week, but they do need to see, absolutely everybody has to see them before they go to camp. So we scheduled another appointment for May, I think, to get them all in to see pulmonology before camp, because they have to have a baseline on everything for the camp to work with, because the staff that go to the camp come from 3 different hospitals in the area. And they are all hospitals that treat the MD and treat the children. But this is, everybody in the state goes to this camp. So it's at least 3 different hospitals that the staff is there from. So they have to have a medically recorded baseline for everyone, because it might not be the occupational therapy that knows them that is helping make sure they get what they need while they're at camp. That's where we're at there. But they so kindly did not do that to me this week, because Christmas. They said, how about we do this in there? Let's go then. So yeah, that's much better on me. But they are probably, I was told that they are in all likelihood sending Kid 2 to a camp for autism rather than the one for MD. I believe it's the same week. But part of this is it's a lot harder for the MD camp to handle the autism with all the other things that have to happen. And part of it is also, it may not be bad for him to go to a different camp than his brothers. And I'm like, no, it probably won't. For him, it will be a growth opportunity. And I know for some kids with autism, that's not how that works. Mine's not one of those. Mine is the I want to experience everything adventure-y type kid. And a camp where he's with new people doing new things is not terrible on him. However, for his brothers, it is also good to not... It's not easy on them either, And he would actually be very close to the oldest one in cabin, age group in cabin. They wouldn't be in the same cabin, I don't believe, but there was a chance there. So instead, they're going to be all very separated. Like, he might see the oldest and younger and second to youngest will probably see each other at camp, but they're not going to be in the same group or dealing with each other very much at all. So yeah, the big appointments happened, and now we are down to making Christmas magic. And I know I touched on that a little bit with the magic bag a few weeks ago. But, a lot of what's been going on lately, a lot of the messages I've been receiving, I have my faith, okay? You got gonna take offense to that, then you're in the wrong place. Also, if you're going to take offense to the fact that I do cuss and I have my faith, you're definitely in the wrong place. But a lot of the message I've received from God, from my pastor's wife, from various scenarios, even friends online who... 1, 2, 3... We've got a good 4 faith bases in that, okay? There's a lot of different ones. But everyone has been very on the you need to be able to rest. Because everyone has had a good understanding or vague understanding of how the last 3 months have gone for us. It's not rest. And Fairy in particular has harped on that for a couple of times. Just the sit still kind of rest. But needing to rest. And I got gently chewed on last year about trying to make everything happen for the kids and not taking time to enjoy this holiday at all myself. So last year, I sat down with the kids and asked, okay, what is Christmas to you? And I expected to get the presents answer from all of them, but that's not what I got. What I got was candles, cookies, cuddles, turkey. One of them said turkey. I think he was still a little peeved that we hadn't had a turkey for Thanksgiving at that time. But yeah. For them, it's the experiences and the time with us. And this year I had to stop and reflect because I've been injured. You know, I can't do as much as they want, and I honestly thought I was going to fail at making Christmas happen this year. And I haven't. I have been needing to rest, and the idea of resting seems to be foreign to everything else in my life at this time. But it's still there. The kids rest. They understand that I need rest. At least 2 of them do. The 4th one... Well, the 4th one's having a lot of come to Jesus meetings this week. A lot of them. As I mentioned previously, they spent a lot of time getting away with murder 2 months ago because my stress levels were so bad. I stopped taking care of myself. Showers, food, I stopped taking care of myself. So yeah, they were getting away with freaking murder for a month. And I don't know what was up with that. We started going, okay, no, these are the rules, this is hard and set, and that's it. And the youngest is having a really hard time accepting a lack of power. And it's been an ugly couple runs for him. But no one's gone to the ER. No one's died. Kid 2 is having a better time. His listener's not broken. That is the biggest problem the others have had lately, is they don't want to listen to anything I say. The oldest has been trying to ignore me. The 3rd one is Lex. We're going to go, it's Lex, little Lex. Has been arguing with me a lot and just ignoring my answers and just keeps arguing. There have been some spankings. Not a lot, but they have happened because, I'm sorry, the 4th round of why do I have to take my medicine does not end in their favor. And the last one, the youngest, is trying everything in his power to force himself some control, and that's where most of the spankings have gone. Because screaming, jumping, hitting, and he's causing injuries because he won't listen. One of the biggest examples we had is we have a new rule with this van. They get in 1 kid at a time, only 1 kid at a time, and any attempts to push, hit, jump, shove past, or around your brothers gets you a spanking. Because, and here's why these rules are there, the older 2 are having just enough trouble getting in the car that they can't get in the car at the same time. They need that little bit of extra space without accidentally kicking or tripping up the other brother. And that's just, their muscles are degrading. This is life. They're not doing anything wrong. They are literally accidentally touching the brother while he's trying to get his balance. But the younger 2 were shoving past, around, climbing over, and stepping on the older brothers as they tried to get in the car. They caused multiple injuries in one trip. That was where I had my absolute fill. And they knew I had my fill because I hit a special pitch and tone when I told them to put their butts against the side of the car and not move. And that has been happening in the house too. Shoving past them, running into them, running in the house in the first place, or my personal favorite this week, running down the hall, screaming at the top of his lungs because he didn't want to hear what I was trying to tell him, and running smack jab into a door. I would like to point out that all of my doors in this house open inward, away from the hallway. Yet somehow, he managed to run full front face into a door, running down the hallway screaming. There was no sympathy for this. None whatsoever. Not an ounce. Mostly because I was already pissed. This was the 4th run in an hour. But that's literally the worst we're dealing with right now. You know, we've taken care of the Christmas ornament, the Christmas purchases, we have gas in the tank, we have food in the house, we are doing gold. The grocery video, however, I don't know if I covered this in the last vlog that actually got posted, but the grocery video is not going to happen. My kids corrupted my data, or not corrupted my data, God, screwed up my video. I went to go do the footage, and they were screwing around in front of the camera, and the footage is all boned. It's worthless to me. So, they are now no longer allowed in the videos until we have learned some lessons, or I have figured out how to place the camera so they can't do that. But the next, and I'm not going to recreate that one, because the next full haul, because that one was about $1,000 in groceries. Because that was the stock everything haul. We didn't have anything in the house. I'm not kidding, I was down to 2 pounds of rice, a pound of hamburger, and I think a stick of butter. That's the kind of haul I had to do. But, because we finally got Kid 2 through the system, we can afford, money-wise, not time-wise right now, because Christmas is next week, but we can afford to go start cranking up Costco. So, when, after Christmas, it's after Christmas, we're going to get a Costco card, we're going to do a Costco haul. This is going to include getting set up to start preserving or long-term storing food. I'm not a prepper, okay? It ain't gonna happen. But I have 4 growing boys to feed, and we have had multiple spats in our lifetime now of a food scarcity problem. Just because we're feeding this many kids. And dealing with their medical issues and stuff is not cheap. So, we're going to go to Costco. We're going to bulk buy some of the stuff that we do use that will not go bad before we use it. I think there are extremely few things that we keep in the house that will go bad before we use it. Milk is on that list. Sour cream, yogurt. If I buy a massive bulk of dairy products, it's probably going bad before we use it. That is not the case for most anything else. They will eat the apples before they go bad. Okay? There is no getting around that. Fruit does not last unless we magically forgot about a thing of strawberries at the back of the fridge. This has happened once. It's the kids are all over fruit and produce. Like that's never a problem. But rice, pasta, canned sauce, some ingredients that I'm just not doing myself. Peanut butter. I cannot make peanut butter. Okay? Even if I could, that is not worth my time. Buy it, freeze it. Ta-da. But there's a lot of stuff. We go through tons of peanut butter. We can bulk buy some of this stuff, save ourselves a mountain of money, and save some of the stress from the food security problems. Because when I've got rice, beans, and cheese in the house, we still have food. And dry goods don't expire if they're in an airtight container. So then that's where the real cost is going, is into getting the airtight containers to store this kind of bulk. But yeah, that's that video will go up. I am going to record that. The kids will not be helping me with that part. Though they may still be involved in the speed put everything away montage where I don't have to talk. You don't have to hear me. It just watching them make a mess. Ta-da. But yeah, that's the next big video plan. I think I'm going to continue streaming through the holidays, but don't quote me on that. Because we are playing this visit with the family by ear. But yeah, at that point, that's it. That's the vlog catch up. Have a Merry Christmas, people. It's been a hell of a year for a lot of us. And I think some of us have been long overdue. for a nice, relaxing holiday. Enjoy the chaos.